Mr. Naqvi is a friend to Oman. What I gather is that he was able over the last 2 decades or so to become part of the weaving of sports in Oman. And his early commitments in 1982 with the Hockey Association, as well as the further work he did for the Oman Olympic Committee, will bear witness that people like him, who devoted their life to helping sports in general and became professionals in what they do, leave behind a good trace always. From those who dealt with him in the early years, they have mentioned him as a man of zeal, a gentleman who respected his job, but also was there to contribute. And I really hope that people like him become remembered not for what they've done, but for what they leave behind for others to carry on and continue to do. We in Oman have gone through phases of development in terms of sports, and it was the commitment of people like Sayyid Naqvi who helped in the making of some of these contributions. In terms of hockey, of course, it's a game that we love, and it's a game that is deep-rooted in Oman. And it's a game that also connects us to many Asian countries that had the same passion for the game. And those ambassadors, like the very distinguished coach that we have here, they were able to bring the sport to the open and make it more of a reality for Oman. I really wish him always luck and continuous support to the game, to us in the Olympic Committee, but also to the movement of hockey as a game in the Asian continent.
I would like to talk about Mr. Naqvi. Actually, Mr. Naqvi, when I came to be the Under Secretary of Youth in 82, end of 82, we start from 1983, with Mr. Naqvi, and he is one of the greatest people who encourage the sports in Oman, and he is working day by night to really to give Omani sports all what he's done with all his experience. He is not only an advisor or an expert, he do everything for sports. And behalf of all our college who's worked in Oman Olympic before and now, and all of the Omani people, we thank Mr. Naqvi for what he done for Oman and for Oman sports. Thank you.
It is a great matter of pleasure and delight for me to address the audience regarding the contribution of Mr. S.A.S. to the development of hockey in India, his role in Indian hockey, both as a player and also as a coach. And for the last 25 years, he has been living and working in the promotion of the sport of hockey in the southern of Oman. I have always found Mr. Naqvi as a wonderful human being. I can very confidently say that Sayyid Naqvi has been the genuine sports ambassador of India to the Sultanate of Oman.
First of all, it's a privilege for me to be here for this special occasion on the launching of this film, Evergreen Ace, on a veteran sports personality, Mr. Naqvi, whose contributions, of course, we've seen and heard about. That really exceptional. This is surely a unique event in the sports history of the Sultanate, because this is the first time that such a film has been made on the life and achievements of a sports personality. And Naqvi Sahab has contributed immensely to the development of sports, particularly hockey, in both India and in the Sultanate of Oman. And when I came here, one of the first things that I learned actually was the fact that he was so well known in all circles, in Omani circles as well as the Indian circles, because of this contribution.
Mr. Naqvi, as you said, Mr. S.A.S. Naqvi is a true legend in the field of hockey. My interaction over 3.5 years with him has been extremely enriching. I have learned so much from him about sports in general and hockey in particular. Mr. Naqvi has built a niche and a name for himself. Over 3 decades here, he has been the national coach of the Oman hockey team. He has been the technical advisor to the Oman Olympic Committee. And his work has come to be rightly recognized and acknowledged by all concerned. Mr. Naqvi has given not only his career but a whole lifetime to the cause of hockey. And I have personally no doubt that there is no other Indian sports personality in the Sultanate of Oman who has done so much in the field of sports, in the field of hockey. I would like to compliment Mr. Naqvi and wish him good health and long years in the future for the service of hockey in Oman.
To speak about Mr. Saeed Ali Sibte Naqvi, who is a father-like figure for me, it's a very difficult task. I am definitely short of words to describe his contribution towards Oman sports and hockey in India. He has been one of the finest human beings I have ever come across in my long journalistic life of almost 17 years. I would feel truly honored to speak about Mr. Naqvi, who has been a pioneer in promoting sports in Oman, as initially as a coach of the national hockey team and later on as a technical advisor to the Oman Olympic Committee. While going through his files and his wonderful and marvelous collection of photos and articles, one comes to know that how great his past has been. But the best part is he's still young at heart. He's still so passionate about the game. It's been a wonderful innings for me to share some of his most intimate thoughts, and I feel honored and privileged to be associated with him. As a journalist, I have come across a lot of sports person, but here Mr. Naqvi has been an amazing person who at the ripe age of 75 is still young as a 20-year-old boy who would still like to know what is best in the interest of the game or sports in general. And I would pray to the Almighty to give him many years of life, and he has the same passion for sports as ever, as always.
Hi, wasn't it a spectacular film on Mr. S.A.S. Naqvi? It was November last year, a casual chat that paved way for making of his film. With Mr. Bijlani's blessings, the project took off, and supporting us were Mr. Sadanand and his group. I must mention a few names here who helped in completing this dream project. My first thanks goes to Mr. Salitachar, who took along the crew around the Sultanate to make people talk highly about Mr. S.A.S. Naqvi. And of course, I must not forget my professional brother, Mr. Ashok Purohit, without whom certain personalities wouldn't have been in this film. Mr. Mir Ranjan Negi, who provided us the inputs from India. My best wishes to Mr. Naqvi, who eats, breathes and lives hockey. Hockey is a game which is more than passion for Mr. Naqvi. Thank you.